Alright everyone, we're here in Hongdae, and our mission today is two parts. First, I'm going to do a pizza part, so we're going to Spill Out, and then I'm going to go get some free makgeolli from Gachi Yangjojang. They make the Yeonhee makgeolli. They owe me a free one, and again, I'll talk more about that later, but let's get to the pizza place first. Here we are, folks. It's pizza time.
After that, then I just start to...
Alright, so as far as pizza goes, there's the menu. We're gonna get one of the margaritas, and we're gonna have the chicken Caesar salad pizza, which I'm quite curious about. We'll see what happens. Scott, master pizza maker.
That's a, no.
From New Jersey.
Man, I'm still learning every day, dude.
Can I ask something?
Go for it.
What makes unique New Jersey pizza?
Okay, that's a good question, actually. So, our pizza is actually a mix of both New Jersey style. So there's a New Jersey style that's like bigger size, it looks like New York, but usually they put like sauce on top. And then there's also the bar style New Jersey pizza. And we were kind of doing those two mixed with like kind of like an Italian style pizza. So that's a good question though. Like
So
New Jersey
everything.
pizza has like lots of different kinds of toppings, like the Caesar salad pizza. But yeah, usually it's like the big thing is that it's like sauce on top, and
Yeah,
that's like
that's
the big thing.
like the question I asked.
Yeah, you noticed that right away when I was
Right,
doing it
yeah,
last
right.
But yeah, the sauce on top, I like it because it's like, I think it gives it like a fresh like flavor, like a tomatoey flavor, and I just like it protects the cheese from getting burned when it's in the oven too.
I'm still making a Italian style. Sorry, but
Yeah.
but like when last weekend, like I put too much the paste on the pizza first, so I felt like this is kind of heavy.
No, actually, I think it's like more because like you just bite into it and there's like a lot of that flavor in there. So this, I mean, really, it's just like about finding a good tomato. Like I don't actually put any paste in mine. I just use like pure tomato and like a little bit of seasoning.
Oh, that's good. I have
Margarita time.
Like
There's just enough sauce where it doesn't become soggy. The crispiness of the crust is nice. Little bit of blackened spots. It's not too thick. Nice chewiness to it. The cheese has just a tiny bit of funk in it too. I think that's from the Parmesan. There's a bit of funk, and it's really nice, yeah. The sauce is not overly complicated too. The tomato really comes through. Nice richness.
Alright, so this is where I guess the magic happens. We set up our kitchen so we could kind of work and flow together. So this is kind of where I open up the pizzas and stuff. We've got all the toppings and everything in here. And then this is kind of where I open the dough balls and stretch. So when we're actually cooking, like this is the oven that we use. It's kind of a standard American style oven. I cook it like at a high temperature, just because, like I said, we're a mix of Italian and American style pizza. So when the pizzas come out, we put them here on the resting rack. And this is, the reason why we do this is so that the steam can kind of escape. And
the bottom, right?
It gives it like a little bit of a crispier, chewiness, rather than if it were to sit on a flat surface, it would get like soggy or something like that. So this is where I top it and I do everything for a couple seconds, and then I cut it, and then I bring them over here. And then this is kind of doubles as kind of our finishing station for food, and also where we make all our drinks. So in here we have like all our basil and things like that. And then we have like romaine, and then we have like kind of all of our drink stuff over here. So that's kind of the regular flow of how we kind of do our kitchen.
Beautiful. Thanks, Scott. Chicken Caesar salad pizza. The lettuce goes on after.
I have had lots of the salad pizza, like but usually like rucola goes in the front.
Chicken's just cooked enough, so it's not like, nice and tender, a little chewy. Nice Caesar dressing. The lettuce actually adds a nice crunch to it. Yeah. I'm here with Scott. He's the head pizza chef here at Spill Out.
Yep.
Say hi.
Hi.
He is the pizza chef also at Corner Pizza in Suwon. So if you're near Suwon, go there. It's the same pizza. So can you just give you a brief introduction of who you are, what you do?
Yeah, my name's Scott, like he said, and I've been kind of in Korea for about 12 years and got into pizza maybe 5 to 7 years ago and kind of started as a hobby and just kind of I have an obsessive personality and I just kind of took off, I guess. So.
That works. So speaking of hobby to kind of professional pizza, do you remember the first pizza you made where you thought like, oh shit, I've done it? Like this is the one, I know I can do it. Like when was that? How did that? Do you remember that one?
Well, yeah. Well, when I first started, so my business partner now at Corner, he owned a pizzeria in Ilsan, and I would kind of go there and I would kind of mess with his ovens and kind of test my doughs and stuff.
Nice.
And it was kind of, I was getting done and I was like finishing up a couple months of doing that, and I had made a couple pizzas and I was like, I need to buy a pizza oven for my house because I think I could really do this, and I did it. So yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Probably was around that time. Yeah.
Like with anything, right? Practice and practice and practice, and there comes that point where like,
yeah,
this is what I get at other restaurants that I like, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so what made you want to make pizza in the first place? Like what sparked just from the very beginning, like what made you want to make pizza?
The funny thing is I was always into cooking, and I was doing like some catering stuff for like friends and stuff, and I was kind of, my friend and I wanted to open up a bar, and we were just like, well, what can we do? What kind of food? And I was like, dude, I've always been obsessed with pizza. I'll just like jump in. And so that was like really the reason why I learned. I was just like, maybe I could open up a bar with pizza. And it's kind of funny how it all worked out that that's where I am now with like a different
Years
set of friends
later,
and all that kind of stuff.
That too, yeah. But it wasn't a straight path, but it was a path
it ended up in the
nonetheless,
same
right?
thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so in the beginning, what were some mistakes that you would make when you were making pizza? Like common mistakes that most people make, or mistakes that you remember making that were a pain in the ass?
I mean, really, it applies to beer too, right? It was like a lot of fermentation issues.
That's true.
I was really experimenting a ton with like just what kind of yeast and stuff, and kind of using sourdough and things, and I would run into all sorts of problems all the time. I was constantly on the internet like searching, like how do I fix this? But it was definitely, there was lots of mistakes, but mainly with fermentation.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of fermentation, with my channel, can you give us kind of like a description of like, don't give us the recipe per se, but like your philosophy towards dough and how to ferment it? Like, what's for the fermentation people in the audience?
Yeah, I mean, if you're into bread, I take very much a bread approach, but I realize that bread is a lot different from pizza. So I use like natural sourdough in my recipe, but I kind of build like a pre-ferment and kind of like that with natural yeast, and then kind of at the very end when I'm doing my final mix, I add in like a pinch of like commercial yeast because I find that it gives it like a better texture at the end.
Like a Fleischmann's, kind of like off the shelf.
Standard. So it's like basically the sourdough gives it all the flavor and character, and then the natural yeast or the regular yeast gives it kind of a little bit of the crispiness at the end.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And what is the best pizza you've ever had in your life?
Ooh, that's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there's a bunch.
The thing is
the one that
like,
stands out.
All right, I'll go straight back to my childhood, and like if I were to go there now, I'd probably say it was like terrible pizza.
but as an 8-year-old Scott,
No, like as like a 8-10-year-old kid, like there was a pizza place that our family would go to every Sunday in our hometown, and kind of. Its name was Posatanos, and it was just kind of like your typical New Jersey Italian American kind of place, and just I remember that being really great. But I also really like places like Hokey Pokey and Brett Pizza, and like there's so many good places. It's hard because like ever since I got into pizza hardcore, I've been in Seoul. Like making
that's your zone. So that's the location you're in.
I don't really go home that often. So there's a lot of great pizza in. So like Gino's, Tom's, Hokey Pokey, Sarah's, all those places. So.
All right, and I'm gonna give you like kind of a speed round with a quick yay or nay.
All right, cool.
Hawaiian.
Personally, or am I making laws with these yay or nays? Personally,
Hawaiian.
Nay.
Anchovy.
Yay.
Corn.
Yay. I'll go with it.
Garlic dipping sauce for the crust.
For the crust, yay.
Chicago style.
Yay. I'll go.
Detroit style.
Yeah, definitely yeah.
French fry pizza.
Yeah. He's doing this because I just told him we were making like a French fry pizza here as like kind of a joke, but yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll cap my question off with, well, I have two more questions. You mentioned New Jersey earlier, and we talked about that inside, but for everyone else, what makes a New Jersey pizza New Jersey pizza?
Oh, that's a great question.
I imagine it's similar to New York a bit, but what's kind of key about that?
It's very similar to New York style, but it's sauce on top with a bit of a swirl. So instead of going like tomato cheese, you go cheese tomato. And so it gives it like a very unique flavor profile as far as being like the tomatoes first.
It's safe to say it's kind of like a thin crust Chicago style.
Yeah.
Don't punch me.
I guess, yeah. It's not
maybe
like
that's not the best
it's not
way
the
to say
long
that.
baked casserole that Chicago pizza is.
And then last question, I guess, for Scott. As far as noobs go, who are just starting to make pizza, like what tips would you have for them? What kind of wisdom that you've accumulated would you give them on their journey to start making pizza at home, let's say?
Okay, I mean, my biggest thing for me personally was jump in to like what you're doing to see if you really like it. Like don't really like I guess that's a bit of me, like I've got an obsessive personality, but I think like whatever you're doing, if you're like really want to try doing beer, or if you really want to try doing bread, or if you really want to try doing pizza, really try hard and get into it, and then see what the results are and see if you enjoy the process. But yeah, I mean,
results aren't everything. Yeah, if you don't enjoy doing it, there's only so much enjoyment you can get.
And you know, exactly. And if you like it, pursue it. You know, because you've definitely got to have like a lot of passion and joy into what you're doing. So that's the biggest thing.
Beautiful.
Jump in. Yeah.
Scott, I thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeonju, any questions for Scott about pizza? She's behind the camera going.